Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'm Lisa Otis, the chapter president for the Menominee River Area chapter of the national nonprofit Wild Ones Natural Landscapers. We are a group, for those who are not familiar with us, we are a nonprofit group, national group, and we focus on creating and preserving biodiversity in the environment, establishing, resurrecting, preserving native habitats, native plants. And to sum it all up, we promote, and this is my big promotion, just plant native plants. And that will help solve a lot of things going on right now with climate change. And it's a great way to contribute to the repair of our planet. So that is what we do. And tonight we are going to have a program that I'm very excited about. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but I do have a few items that I'd like to go through. One is that this program is being recorded. And we will be posting it to YouTube. If you prefer not to be part of the view, the sound, you can mute and disable your video if you would like to still attend the meeting. We have a whole plethora of programs out on YouTube. So I encourage you to go out if you need some warm weather, green pastures, birds singing. Our YouTube videos, many of them are the ones outdoors are in spring, summer, and fall. So for tonight, we're going to run through a few things. Again, I'm Lisa Otis, the chapter president of Menominee River Area chapter. We have, John, you want to go to the next slide, please? Okay, so just talking about YouTube programs, something very enlightening happened this week at our board meeting, last week actually, but someone who has been a member for a while said, wow, I didn't realize we had a website. So that was like, wow, then we need to do a better job of spreading that word. So there is a national website, which is wildones.org. And then from there, you can get to our website and you can see the address here, menominee-river-area.wildones.org. I know that's a lot to remember, but you can get to it by going to national as well. But it is our chapter website. And on that website, we have our program schedule for 2022. We have a link to our YouTube library. As I said, it contains a lot of great programs that we've recorded over the past 2 years. Tours of different yards, different nature centers, a lot of different things going on there. We also are on Facebook. So there's a Facebook link, and we recently are on Instagram. So please check us out. Go in and just look for us and like us. If you want to comment or post, please feel free. So please go to our website. We are posting and updating that regularly. So we're going to talk about volunteers. It's so exciting. I have received so many notices of different events. Our chapter is involved in a number of events coming up, especially now during the spring planting early season. So I am looking for volunteers. We are doing a couple of things we're doing coming up will be May 7th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Lac La Ronde plant sale. I've been out there displaying for a few years now. It's a great plant sale. Lac La Ronde is in West Bend, beautiful conservancy. And they actually started their plant sale as a native plant sale when they were digging up natives as they cut paths through the conservancy. So it's well attended. There are lots of native plants. There are also other plants, house plants, cultivars, plants like that. So it really encompasses a lot of different planting genres, if you will. Of course, we're there to talk about natives and natives only. Last year, the plants flew off the shelves. So it was really successful. I felt really good about all the plants that were going to be planted in people's yards. That's the key thing. The sale is also more like the early season sales. Smaller plants, especially this year, Johnson's has already said things are waking up slow. I'm sure that the plants for any of the early plant sales are going to be small, but they're great plants, and the Friends of the Conservancy painstakingly take care of those plants, repotting them, trying to reduce any risk of jumping worms being transmitted. We also have in June our regular native plant sale, our annual native plant sale in conjunction with Johnson's Nursery, as well as partnership with 2 other chapters, Southwest Ware and Milwaukee North, join us in this plant sale. It is the whole month of June, and members receive 40% off of native nursery stock. And now it's later in the season, and these plants are, other than the woodland plants, they of course are pretty small, but the rest of the plants they're big nursery stock plants, not seedlings, not plugs. So that is going on, and we try to have volunteers there on Saturdays to help with the customers that come in, help with plants, help with discussion on, what have you got? What do you need? What would you like to look at? Or do you need recommendations? So I'm looking for people to volunteer. You could do 2 to 4 hour shifts or however long you want to be there. I'll be sending an email just to collect names of people who do want to volunteer. And I already have a couple. So thanks to those folks that have already stepped up. All right. So what we're doing, this is another volunteer opportunity. This is the Lac La Ronde, and not another, but it is the Lac La Ronde volunteer or Lac La Ronde plant sale, I'm sorry. Just again, educate plant sale attendees on the benefits of planting native plants. That's the theme. So it's Saturday, May 7th, the Saturday before Mother's Day, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a volunteer period, or from 11 to 1. Unless someone wants to come the whole time. I will be there for the whole time, be there earlier to set up. So that will be an opportunity there. And next. Okay, those flip really quick. You can go back to the Johnsons, okay. So this is just more info on our plant sale in conjunction with Johnson's Nursery, 40% off natives any day of the month. John, who is kind of orchestrating the technology. The first year that he came to the sale, I met him, and then he came back, and he came back, and he came back. So he certainly caught the bug that year with native plants, and after building his house and starting to landscape. So it's a great sale, and we have attracted members from chapters all around Madison, Kettle Moraine, Kenosha, some Northern Illinois. I think it's the DuPage chapter. We've had a lot of wild ones attend. So it's a great sale. And I need volunteers. All right, next one, John. Okay, so this is an event we're doing this weekend. We have 2 events going on.
Oops, sorry.
And one of them is an event that Mary Jane Swedberg, one of our members, initiated. She found that Town of Lisbon was giving away free oak trees this year, and apparently they did it last year. Shame on me, I'm a resident and I didn't even know that. So she coordinated with another member, Jeff Conte, who is a retired forester, but still very active. They're going to be at the plant sale, or the giveaway rather, at the Lisbon Community Park. It's off of Lake 5 Road near Plainview Road. And it's a really beautiful park. They've restored a prairie area, a couple of prairie areas. They have a woodland. We've done a couple of tours there, and I sure go there often to walk my dog. So they'll be there if you want to stop by, and if you're interested in oak seedlings. It's this Saturday, and I think it was 10 to noon, if I recall. I don't see it on the flyer. So thank you to
Yes.
Afternoon.
Yeah, Lisa, 10 to noon.
10 to noon. All right. I still have memory. Great. All right. And then the next slide.
Okay.
Okay. And so this is a new event that I'm going to be at, and I'd love to have a couple of members join me. I'm not quite sure what to expect. It's Elm Grove Village Park. It's Earth and Arbor Day celebration in the village of Elm Grove. And it's a member who joined, and she had this event last year. She's been trying to build it, and she said that she had about 5 or 6 displayers, exhibitors, people participating. This year, last update, there were like 20 or 25. So I think it's going to be a great event with a lot of good exhibits. It should attract very like-minded folks, and hopefully we attract people who don't know too much about Earth Day and the various ecological, it covers pretty much all ecology as an opportunity to learn more and do more. So I will be there from 11 to 2. If anyone would like to come by, help me talk with people that are there that are interested in native gardening, or maybe we can get them interested in native gardening so that they will plant native plants in their yards. All right, John. Good news, update on our open board positions. Treasurer is filled, yay! Our member, Ray Knopel, has raised his hand to take Norm Greer's place. Norm Greer, thank you so much. He stepped in when our former treasurer, Amy, had passed away unexpectedly. So he really rescued us, and there was no blip in the system. So huge thanks to Norm, and a big welcome to Ray. And we so appreciate you taking a stab at this position. And Kathy, please let him know that we gave him kudos. We have Ray's wife tuning in tonight. Secretary, I mentioned last month, the position is filled. And Barb Walter, who was in that position over 20 years, amazing job. And she just has such amazing memories of the roots of wild ones. So we look forward to being able to share those things with her. But in the interim, Barb Hunt is going to take on that task and that role. And we're certainly thrilled to have Barb with us as well. So we are good at the moment. As far as board and positions, what we really need are some committees. And we've had a few members attend the last few board meetings. And want to get involved, not necessarily as an officer, but some other area that they can help. So I've got a big list of things that we could do. And all of that depends on who we have that's interested and would like to volunteer and get a little more involved. And it can be a little bit, or it can be a lot. We're pretty easy to deal with, and we'll accept pretty much anything. All right, so next one. This is a list from our website of, excuse me just a moment, of our upcoming programs. So as I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention it yet, I will talk about the Shiwaukee Prairie tour next month. June is annual native plant sale. We also are going to do in June a tour of Willowbrook Conservancy, which is in Heartland. It's a beautiful area, a native gardens tour at Carroll University, which that would be, I think, a first for me anyway, touring a university. We've done some great schools, but I'm really interested and excited to see what's happening at Carroll. We'll be going to Fox Hills Prairies in August. Cedar Lakes Conservation Foundation have done a restoration, and that is beautiful. We're going to have a seed harvesting and member yard tour. Mary Jane is going to work with John and put a program together for us. So we do have a couple of Saturday programs. Stay tuned. I'll be sending out the monthly emails on those programs. All right, what do we have next? Okay, some of the events that we've talked about, Earth Day events, the Lac La Ronde plant sale in May. John is going to do a display at his church, St. James Catholic Church in Menominee Falls, or is it Sussex?
That's actually in Menominee Falls.
in Menominee
And
Falls.
that's open to anyone. They work with the cooperating churches of Sussex. It's 8 other churches, and helps supply the Sussex Food Pantry with fresh vegetables all summer. I think they've got maybe 10, 15 beds for vegetables at the church. And so in May every year, they do they've started tomatoes and peppers and things like that. And people will come and pick up the peppers and tomatoes for their own gardens, and then give a donation to help fund the gardens for the Sussex Food Pantry. So open to anybody. It'll be those days. Best to check the website on exact times. I'm going to have a little display there. I've started some milkweeds, and it looks like I've got about 15 flats of things that are growing that I'll give away at that. So hopefully to drum up some interest and maybe get some people to join and go to the sale in June.
Yeah. Plus donate to the church unions, because that's really a very important cause as well. Okay, so our plant sale, we are also going to be exhibiting for World Bird Migratory celebration at the Brookfield Farmers Market. That is June 4th. It starts early. I think that one is like 8 till 2. I was there last year and it was great. The farmers market is amazing. It's one of the best ones I've been to. And B, there were lots of people that wanted to talk about native landscaping. We had a display right next to the Bird City group, and it was a perfect harmony. And then on the other side of us was the bird suppliers. I forget the name of it, but I'm blocking on it. Anyway, they had an exhibit. So there were birding supplies, information about native habitats and native plants, and then information about birds and migration. So it was really a well thought out, well organized event. So sure, I could use a couple of people there to hang out and talk to people about wild ones. So that'll be on the volunteer list.
Lisa, can I interrupt? It starts at 7 in the morning.
7 in the morning?
Right.
Okay.
7 in the morning, and it goes until noon at the farmer's market. So, yep. And that's when we'll have the booth open. So
okay. That's right, 7 a.m. I better set my clock a lot earlier than I was planning to. Vicki is the person that actually invited us to attend last year and brought up the invitation again this year. So Vicki's very involved in both wild ones and the Bird City and everything bird, right, Vicki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yep.
Thanks. Well, okay, thank you.
All right, and then Judy Newman, who is on the Zoom call today, asked me if I would do a presentation to the Elmbrook Garden Club and talk about native plants. So yeah, I'm excited for that because I'll be talking to a lot of master gardeners and bring in that other side of gardening, that being planting native plants. So Judy, thanks for the opportunity.
We need to check that date. It's the first Thursday in June, and I'm not sure.
The first Thursday. Okay, I'll look at that right now.
I don't think that's the right date. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. The first Thursday in June?
Yes.
That would be June 2nd. Okay. I'll fix that. Yep. All right. So, so that'll be happening. And then there are a bunch of plant sales going on and events, which is really fun. Everyone is clearly ready to get back together and be together, have some social time, some in-person time. So Friends of the Monarch Trail, they sent me an email. Pewaukee, Washington County, Waukesha County, the Land Conservancies, Waukesha Green Team. And I had been forwarding those emails to the chapter because of having to use MailChimp right now. I can't forward emails. I have to start a whole new campaign every time I want to send something. So please go online, just search for some of these groups and so that you can see what else is going on. And hopefully soon we'll have a better email system that is more friendly to forwarding emails and just being able to send more out with less effort and time involved. So, okay, I think that's what, oh, I do want to talk about Shiwaukee Prairie a little bit more. That'll be a Saturday program, and it's, yes, in May. And do we have the date on here? I guess we don't have it. It's May 21st. And Shiwaukee Prairie, if you're not familiar, is a remnant prairie, as I understand, in Kenosha. So it's easy to get to. It's right off of 94 eastbound. We do plan to have 2 spots for carpooling, and I would really like to know who's interested, so we know how many people we need to drive and who's going to be there, so that we can get there by 10 o'clock. So park and ride at Good Hope Road and for Highway 45, 41, or Gerke's Corner, which is off of 94. We would meet at 8. Well, by 8:15 to leave promptly at 8:30. So that's the plan. Email me if you're interested in carpooling, whether you want to ride, drive, so we can get that coordinated. So we had toured Shiwaukee Prairie a few years ago, and I think we went in June, and we had just missed a lot of the spring ephemerals. And when you think about prairie, you don't think too much about some of the spring ephemerals because they're usually woodland. Well, there were remnants of lots of really cool spring ephemerals, and John has listed some of the plants that we expect to see. So shooting star, we just missed that, and we were told it was amazing, and on and on. So we plan to do a tour. The prairie is a flat. When we did the tour last time, it's very flat, very easy. And to wrap up the day, we'll have a lunch on the deck of our host. She lives there, and she has this beautiful deck overlooking the prairie. So last time we had a bring your own bag lunch, and if you want to bring something to pass, feel free. And after the tour, had a chance to relax, and we'll be able to reconnect this year in a big way, enjoy some food and just the whole atmosphere. So I hope that everyone can make this, because it really will be a wonderful day and a beautiful place to be. So that is in May, May 21st. Well, that wraps up my meeting. Sorry, I went a little bit longer, but there's so many good things happening.